They trespassed against me. Therefore I hid my face from them and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. They all gonna see this, right? But what they also gonna see is our salvation. So this is the difference. The Most High used Pharaoh to show his power in Egypt. He used Pharaoh to show his power. He's hardened his heart. He used us. He used the heathens to punish us and also to show his power, because we go from the lowest to the greatest. They're going to see this whole story play out as the Most High has prophesied.
Look, just to add on to his point, look at this. Look what the Lord said in the book of Micah about how the heathen is going to see our salvation. Read this. Start at verse 15.
The book of Micah, chapter 7 and verse 15. According to the days of thy coming out of the land of Egypt.
According to the days when we came out of the land of Egypt.
Will I show unto him marvelous things.
And he's going to show unto us marvelous things like he did in Egypt.
The nations shall see and be confounded. And shall see and be confounded of all their might.
So when we, just like when we came out of Egypt, the Egyptians were astonished. Every other nation heard about how the Israelites destroyed Egypt. Well, it's going to be the same way when we come out of here. When we come out of Babylon, all the nations are going to be, they're going to hear it, and they're going to see it, and they're going to be astonished. Read.
They shall lay their hand upon their mouths. Their ears shall be deaf. They shall lick the dust like a serpent. They shall move out of their holes like worms of the earth. They shall be afraid of the Lord our God, and shall fear because of thee.
This is how the other nations going to be when we coming back into the power because of the Lord. You was about to say something?
Yes, I wanted to ask a question about trying to interject. But so the Israelites coming out of Egypt. Because of Pharaoh.
You said because of Pharaoh?
Or because God said that He's going to send them out of Egypt.
Nah, we came out of.
No, I know my question. So we're in the desert, right? 40 years in the desert?
In the wilderness, yeah.
In the wilderness.
You said what?
Why?
Because the Lord said so. Yeah, I said.
So the Lord said to be in the desert 40 years, but then He said that
if you look at Egypt and what was it?
No, but my next
the distance between Egypt and Canaan, where the promised land was, it don't take 40 years to get there.
Why did He say?
Why did He say what?
Why did He say that all the old people can never make it to the promised land?
Because they were stiff-necked and hard-headed. Give me Exodus 32 and 9. Huh? This is why.
Okay.
Book of Exodus, chapter 32 and verse 9.
That's all I want to know. Why?
Book of Exodus, chapter 32, verse 9. And it reads. And the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people.
Because as soon as we came out of Egypt, we was complaining.
All the time.
We told Moses we want to go back to the flesh pot.
That's right.
This is why the old people couldn't get there, because we couldn't go into a new land with old minds of thought. We need younger people who we can easily show this is what you're supposed to be doing. We don't need these stiff-necked people coming into the Lord's promised land. Stiff-necked mean hard-headed, and that's how we still is today. Stiff-necked.
So look, what the brother's trying to prove to you, right? Like what he's saying is us being stiff-necked. The whole reason he had us in the wilderness for 40 years and 40 nights, it was for 40 years. Same thing. But he had us there that long basically to humble us, like the brother was saying, because we are stiff-necked people, right? And he says it in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 2. It says, and thou shalt remember all the way which Yahweh thy power led thee 40 years in the wilderness to humble thee and to prove thee. Right, so he's trying to humble us and to prove us, to make sure we're actually going to serve him, right? Because there were still things they had to do in the wilderness, right? To know that was in thine heart, it's like it, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou would keepest his commandments or no, or not, right? That's the whole reason why. He was trying us to see if we're going to be the people he says we're going to be.
You understand?
I understand. Break.
the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 20. So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it. And I saw and spared it greatly, and hath kept me a grape of the cluster and a plant of a great people. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. So our entire story is a proving process, because like our name states, we are princes of the power of God. Like you said, we're viceroys, we're heirs to His power. So in order to be shown as worthy heirs to His power, we have to go through these adversities. You have to go through the wilderness. You have to go past some of the rod again, right? You have to be proven like. Fiery serpents being these curses, so that we can know that you truly believe on who was sent and who should be raised up. Yeah, you should believe on him to be healed. We have to prove that you are worthy, like our forefathers had to be proven. Abraham had to be proven. Isaac had to be proven. Our father Jacob had to be proven. That's how he earned that name. So we have to be proven to be once called Israel again. We have to wrestle again.
I'm gonna take one more question and I'm gonna pass the mic.
Okay, my question is that, what is the ascension? They're saying that Jesus made an ascension in Israel.
An ascension in Israel?
Rose up, from the dome of the rock in Israel.
Give me Christ rising from the dead.
Is the dome of the rock in Israel? He rose up to heaven.
Christ was resurrected, yes.
From the dome of the rock.
When he was killed, they put him in a tomb.
Right. Yeah.
And he after 3 days and 3 nights, according to the scriptures, he resurrected.
But I'm saying
to sit on the right hand of God.
The rock is like, it's in Israel. It's like old dome, and it said all prophets made the ascension from the dome of the rock.
I don't know what that is. I think that's doctrine.
Okay.
He's talking about.
Yeah, you confusing that with Becca?
Yeah, I think that's what that sounded like. It sounded like he was confusing that with the Kabbak.
Oh,
okay,
yeah, talking about the Kabbak.
No, I just asked him a question.
Nah, we understand. But I'm gonna go ahead and pass the mic. Hum Yashala. Hum Yashala. Hum Yashala. Shalom.
Clap it up for the brother. Give him the spirit. You got any more questions, Elder?
No, I'm gonna hear you speak. I might have some questions, but I'd like to hear you speak first.
Give me
I've got to go to
Jeremiah
work.
50 and 6. Who else gonna read? Hey, Aaron, you gonna read? No?
I got Yaniv is gonna read.
Yaniv, you read.
You gonna take the
Yaniv, you read.
Who gonna take the cat?
Kahari going to when you finish.
Yaniv, you read.
Okay. All right, bet.
What, you need help with the camera?
Let me take a picture.
Get that away. You can do it.
I bet he can.
And this was a pleasure. Got to go to work.
I seen him working your camera.
All right. So shalom, everybody. Quickly, I just want to talk about, what I've been seeing basically in the United States, like pertaining to our people, right? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we seem to be in a king and pawn type situation, right? You realize a lot of the things we do, we literally copy our oppressors, right? But it's a situation where we're not realizing us being lost sheep. The good qualities about us, the oppressors actually try to study and master, and he's taking those, right? Trying to use it for himself, even if it's a physical characteristics, right? That's why they got plastic surgery and everything, so they can fix themselves to look like our women and everything, and vice versa, right? So what we gotta understand is our people need to realize this king and pawn type of state that we're in right now and choose which side you want to be on, right? Right quick, if you got your phone on you, pull up the definition of pawn for me. Right? I want to read this first. And while he's getting that, Jeremiah 50 and 6.
God, it's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 6. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherd had caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains.
You see that? So our people have become lost sheep. Our shepherds that are causing us to go astray, those are the people that we look up to in our society, right? Whether they be your rappers, your real estate investors, your teachers, right? Whoever it is. But all these different people, right? The celebrities, stars, however you look at them, right? The mentors that you have in your life, none of them are following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. They're following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Edomites, right? That's what they're following. So, due to that being the case, since they're following the crackers, guess who else is following the crackers? You are, because those are the people you're looking up to, right? So we have to understand. Right now, the Edomites have made themselves the king, right? They've put us in a pawn state. But we're in a position once you come into this truth, right? The truth is supposed to do what? Set you free, right? So once you're free to choose to continue to be a pawn or to put yourself in the position that the Most High said you were supposed to be in, right? Because in Exodus, 19:6, he told us that we were going to be a nation of kings and priests, right? So it was engraved in stone since then, right? What position we're supposed to be in. So it's up to you what position you're going to choose, right? Go ahead and read me both definitions of pawn.
Pawn, a chess piece of the smallest size and value. A pawn moves 1 square forward along its file if unobstructed.
So look, it says a pawn in a chess game. Anybody play chess? No? Damn, Negroes don't play chess at all? This is crazy. Okay, alright. That's not bad. Okay, so look. It says a chess piece, a pawn in a chess game is the smallest size of value, right? It says it's a pawn moves, it can move 1 square long, basically moving to each square. Start here. Each player begins with 8 pawns on the second rank and can promote a pawn to become any other piece. Typically a queen. So if you play chess, you know that usually if you have a pawn, you're gonna, if you choose to upgrade it, it's gonna become a queen, right? Now, judging from a biblical standpoint, which we know that the crackers took the biblical standard and made it their own, right? So they got the judicial system, all their laws basically based off ours and all that type of stuff, right? So, look at it this way. It says that a pawn, which is the lowest piece on the totem pole, the highest rank it normally gets promoted to is a queen, right? Who's the queen still under? The king, right? So the queen still has to be a follower, right? So the highest position that a pawn could get on the totem pole is a follower still. You're still following somebody. You're a manager basically, right? So guess what they do to the black folks? Guess what the highest position they've allowed us to get in this society? They call them the gatekeepers, right? The boule, all them type of people. We did lessons on it before. It's the same thing. They're just glorified pawns, right? People in positions where, you can get money, you can buy yourself a slingshot, you can get money, you can buy yourself a Bentley, you know what I'm saying? But it's all money that's being paid to you to be a pawn. To teach people not to do the right thing, not teach people to come back to the law, statutes, commandments, teach people to do what Esau wants them to do. Stay away from the Bible. Stay away from what's right? And stay in wickedness, okay? Read the second definition of pawn.
Second definition, a person used by others for their own purposes.
Oh, what that sound like? Huh? A flunky, right? So that's basically exactly what our people are, right? So look, they put Barack Obama in office, right? They made you think he was a brother. What was he used for? To relax our people. To relax our people? Okay, that's good. To elevate the Edomites, right? And the Sodomites. Okay, all right, I like that. Now question, are any of the agendas, whatever you think about Barack, is any agenda that he was put in office for to help our people? La, right? So read that second definition of pawn.
A person used by others for their own purposes.
Right? Let's look at, hell, any of the people. We got a whole black and Hispanic caucus, don't we? Have any of them made any laws for us before? What are those people that get paid $150,000, $250,000, $300,000 a year on the regular paycheck salary, plus whatever they get to make through their investments that they steal money through and the taxes, all that stuff, right? What are they put in office for?
A person used by others for their own purposes.
Right? So that's what a pawn is, right? That's the position that Esau's put us in. They put us in a glorified pawn position, right? So since we're glorified, who wants to be the king? You don't need to be the king, right? That's how you feel. I'm getting paid enough, right? I make $200,000 a year. I'm straight. I could screw my people over all day long because they ain't getting paid as much as me. I'm high class, you know what I'm saying, high society in this place. So it's all good, right? You glorified pawn. But that's the position everybody's trying to get to. Every bag that every person in this society is trying to get, if they're not an Israelite, they get in that bag to become a glorified pawn.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, I just want to put that out there, right? Give me Psalm 44. Start at verse 1. Because our ancestors, there's certain things that they knew about the Most High, the way that He moved, right? But our people have forgotten that, right? Because, you know, we've been destroyed for lack of knowledge. We've basically had our knowledge of the Most High and the type of things He could do for us taken away from us, right? Now they've given us knowledge of what they want us to think of the Most High, right? We're only going to look to the Most High for things that Esau's told us we can look to the Most High for, right? So, read that for me.
God, it's the book of Psalms, chapter 44 and verse 1. We have heard with our ears, O God, our fathers have told us what work thou didst in their days, in the times of old. How thou didst drive out the heathen with thy hand.
See that? Ain't no stories right now that they teach us in school or that they teach us that your grandparents got to bring out back in the day, where they tell you about how you know, the Most High drove our enemies away from us. They're telling you stories about civil rights when the enemies was whooping their behinds, right? Every time I see my Uncle Jerry, he tells me how the cops kicked my family out of Texas. They came flying out the sky, all because he slept with a white woman. You know what I'm saying? It's these type of stories every family of ours has, right? Black, Hispanic, Native American. But it's never it's not a story like this. It's always a glorified horror story, right? Go ahead.
And plantest them, how thou didst afflict the people and cast them out.
Right? But the Most High used to afflict our enemies and cast them out from amongst us, man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 3. For they have got not the land in possession by their own sword.
Right.
Neither did their own arm save them.
Yeah, the land that we had, we didn't get it by our own sword. We had the Most High helping us, right? Now we need to get back to the point where we can have the Most High helping us again. The problem is our people ain't looking for the Most High's help. They're looking for the help of the white man in the bag, right? To be glorified pawns. If you look for the help of the Most High, He's going to put you back in the king's seat. That's the only seat you need to be in. That's the only seat you should want to be in, because that's the seat where you actually have control over what's happening to you, what you got going on. You don't have control as a pawn. You're just getting paid to think you have control, right? Go ahead.
But thy right hand and thine arm and the light of thy countenance, because thou hadst a favor unto them.
Right?
Thou art my king, O God. Command deliverance for Jacob.
And that's what the Most High did. He commanded deliverance for Jacob, man. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, He's actually commanding deliverance for you all right now. It's high time that you wake out of sleep, right? It's time to get back to this thing. Hey, family, how y'all doing? You guys know their nationality according to the Bible? Y'all didn't say yes or no?
Go Bucks, baby. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
Let's go, baby.
We ain't worried about the Bucks. We worried about salvation.
Hey, don't worry. Let him come tomorrow with that ass whooping.
Yeah, but the Bucks gonna get blown the F up, right? That's all we worried about. So, yeah, we don't see. The Bucks gonna be skulls for real with a couple swords hanging around their neck. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Through thee we will push down our enemies. Through thy name we will tread them under that rise up against us.
Right? We will tread them under that rise up against us, right? There's gonna come a time where we're gonna tread people under that rise up against us, right? We're gonna be the Bucks. You know what the Buccaneers used to do back in the day? You know what I'm saying? Not the football Bucks, the real. Go ahead.
Verse 6. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me.
Right?
But thou hast saved us from our enemies.
And those are the type of things that we used to be able to say, right? Because we had, you know, respect for the Most High. We were keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Now we got to get back to that so we can go back to being able to say these things again, man. Right? You read the book of 2nd Ezra, it explains, says that there's going to come a time when the Most High is going to save us from hell. That time comes once we get back to the law, statutes, and commandments. We're not trying to chase the bag no more. You're trying to chase the Most High, right? Make haste. Go ahead.
It has put them to shame that hated us.
Right?
In God we boast all the day long and praise thy name forever. Selah.
That's right, man. So we were praising His name forever. But here's the thing, right? Here's the flip side. Go ahead and read this.
Verse 9. But thou hast cast off and put us to shame.
Right? Now we're being cast off and put to shame. Now we're in a situation where, like I said, our grandparents are having to talk about, you know, civil rights and stuff. Now you're bringing up, when you have kids, the stories you're going to be telling your kids is going to be Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, you know what I'm saying, Marcus Brown, all them brothers and sisters. We could go on and on, right? Now we got a couple of good stories. We're going to be able to tell them about Ahmaud Arbery and what's the brother name? George Floyd, right? Yeah. Because they got locked up, but it's still not a situation that we should be happy about, right? A brother's life was lost, blood was shed, and they just get to go to jail for a couple years and get out and go back to doing the same thing.
That's true.
Killing black people, right? That they need to be killing crackers, but they don't.
And goest not forth with our armies. Thou makest us to turn back from the enemies.
See that? Now the Most High is not going forth with our armies. He's making us to turn back from the enemy, right? He's got the enemy coming at us with guns. We got our hands up saying don't shoot. They still shoot you anyway. 8 times in the back while you're running away. Against the law, and they still don't go to jail, right? Because they hold themselves not guilty. You understand what I'm saying? So these are the things that we're going to be passing down to our children because we fell away from the law, statutes, commandments. We get back to those things, we won't have to worry about that anymore though, right? He's going to deliver us and save us from him.
And they which hate us spoil for themselves.
But right now, we're in a situation where, as it says, they that hate us, they're going to take us and continue to use us as a spoil for themselves, man. Right? If, what's the white boy that just got off for killing 4 people? Yeah, Rittenhouse, right? He didn't kill no Jake, right?
Nah, I don't think so.
It was all Edomites.
Yeah,
He shot Jake in his bicep. His bicep.
Yeah, so, but had that been Jake, right? Dude would have got killed by the police, wouldn't even made it home that night. Right? You know what I'm saying? So, not to mention, I don't know if y'all saw the news, we have another school shooter, right? Up in Michigan, where the people from. So, I hope it wasn't no Jake that got hurt, but it was four Edomites that I know so far that got killed, right? Yeah, cool, that's all good. So, you know, the Most High is turning the plagues back on the people now. You know what I'm saying? Back on the heathen. So we got to understand that. But at the same time, we're still in a situation where anything can happen to us too. Because we haven't came back to those law, statutes, commandments yet, man. So you got to do whatever you can. Your family's going to be trying to make you keep the holidays. Your family's going to be trying to make you keep the feast. Going to be trying to make you decorate the tree when you come by. They're going to be trying to make you drink alcohol with them and have your peaches for the first of the year and stuff like that, right? But you got to fight through all that stuff, man, and keep continuing to try to teach them what the truth is. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's the facts. Keep going.
Verse 11. Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat, and hast scattered us among the heathen.
That's right.
Thou sellest thy people for naught, and doeth not increase thy wealth by their price.
And that's what's happening, man. Our people's wealth isn't increasing. No matter how much work we do, our situation isn't changing. It's not because we're not working hard enough. It's because we're not working for the right thing, for the right person. We're not working for the Most High. We're working for the white man in his bag. His bag of money, that's the root of all evil, right? So we need to get away from that. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be killing each other if it wasn't for a bag. We're killing each other because we don't got enough money. Somebody's promising you some money, so you know, take this dude out, I'll give you what you want, right? Shouldn't be none of that. It's all for the money that the white man is putting in our face to do this stuff.
Verse 13. Thou makest us a reproach to our neighbors.
Right. And because of that, we're a reproach to our neighbors, man. You go to these other nations, they don't really mess with blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans like that because of the way that we are right now. But they don't all realize that the reason we're in the state that we are mentally, physically, emotionally is because of these crackers that's round about us. And the stuff that they did to us. The trauma that's been passed down from generation to generation, right? Go ahead. Or actually, that's it on that. Give me Isaiah 30.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children that, said the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
See that? Our people have been not covering themselves with the Most High Spirit. They're adding sin to sin. That's why we're not out of the situation yet, man. Keep adding sin to sin, you're going to keep being in the situation that you're in.
That walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth, right? To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
So, look at that as now, right? You ain't got to look at that as back then. Right now, our people are going down to Egypt. This is spiritual Egypt, right? Right now, we're doing everything we can to be just like the people that are making it in this society, right? This dude sag his pants to get $1 million. I'm going to sag my pants so I can get $1 million. This dude make himself have rainbow hair. I'm going to make myself have rainbow hair. This dude get tattoos on his face. I'm going to put a cross on my face too. Right? Because it's making them money. I want the bag too, right? All you're doing is being a follower to get the things that you want. But the Most High said that if you follow him, he'll add all things unto you.
That's true.
You've been following the wrong thing the whole time. The Most High, the cracker's using you. You're a pawn. He's going to let you do all that stuff to make you look a certain way, to make you act a certain way, so that your people will think that's the way to make it, and then he's going to pay you for it. Right? These are the things we need to get out of, especially my generation. Once we learn this, it's a dub. We about this thing, man. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
That's why the Most High said this, man. Because our people want to keep trusting in them, our brothers and sisters gonna keep getting shot. We're gonna keep getting killed, right? You want to live how they tell you to live in these rap songs and stuff like that, you're gonna keep dying like they die in the rap songs and stuff like that, right? That's the way it is. That's how it's gonna go. Until we get back to these last night's commandments that the Most High gave us, man, and the heritage that He gave us that we fell away from, it's a dub, right?
Verse 4.
Jump to verse 7.
Verse 7. For the Egyptians shall help in vain and to no purpose. Therefore have I cried concerning this. Their strength is to sit still.
Right.
Now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever.
So we gotta understand, man, these people that you round about, they're not here to help you, man. Their job is to sit still and watch you destroy yourself. Right. That's all they're gonna do. No matter how much you want them to help you, it's not gonna come. They're gonna help you enough just to make sure that whatever help that they gave you was enough to help themselves on top. Right? Why you think he got reparations yet? You understand what I'm saying? So, I'm almost done.
Verse 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord.
See that? Because we're rebellious children, man. Children that don't want to hear the law of the Most High. Y'all would rather hear Joe Biden speak, right? Y'all would rather go and sit in front of a dang stage, pay $500 to listen to Stacey Abrams instead of listening to brothers teaching the Bible.
That's true.
You understand what I'm saying? That's a problem. Stacey Abrams ain't gonna tell you nothing that's really gonna help you. She's gonna tell you something that's gonna help the white man.
Right.
And help her get the check in the position she wants, because she's a glorified pawn. You understand what I'm saying? That goes for all of them.
Where's Kamala Harris?
Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris is the president. I was about to say, when that happened, why did
She was the president for like a couple hours.
she's probably the real, Keisha Bottoms. That's the new.
No, Keisha Bottoms is out.
Yeah, she left. She gone.
Somebody new.
She gone. The brother, yeah. But even him, all the stuff he was saying was all about the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King, right? Bringing white people and black people together. I helped them with this. I helped them with that. His whole campaign speech was about helping both nations, right? Not just his own. But we voted for him. You know what I'm saying? And guess what's gonna happen? He's not gonna help us. He's gonna do what he said he was gonna do for them, but the stuff that he said he was gonna do for us is never gonna happen. Right? That's how it always goes. Y'all just help with the votes.
Verse 10. Which say to the seers, see not.
Right?
And to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Speak unto us smooth things. Prophesy deceit. Get you out of the way. Turn aside out of the path. Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. Wherefore,
Israel just asked, don't tell us the truth, lie to us.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yep. Prophesy to us deceits. Lie to me. What the hell is wrong with y'all?
That's what they do, bro. You know Israel ain't trying to hear no truth. Not when it's gonna really help they at. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Israel would rather you tell them to, whatever it is, it's gonna sound good. Yeah. Hey brother, you could, you ain't gotta keep the holiday today. You can go do what you gotta do.
Yeah, you ain't gotta worry about the Lord. Yeah. No, not today. You good.
You can repent. Because he gave us grace.
Salaki, I don't want, or they tell you a real nigga because you go to jail and can't support your family.
How y'all doing? Well, right, brother. I ain't want to glorify that, but that's Jake. Hey, family, y'all know the nationality according to the Bible? Y'all gonna walk away without knowing the answer? No time for Jesus?
Stop cuffing the mic.
All right. I ain't cuffing the mic.
Move it back from your face.
That's what the mic sound like.
Move it back from your face.
All right. Come.
verse 11. Get you out of the way. Turn aside out of the path. Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us.
That's what they want, man. They want the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us, right? Because the longer that we're here teaching that you need to get back to the lost God's commandments, right? That's more that they got to look back at the things that they're doing and actually think about whether they're going to change or not, right? It's always that little guy on their right side of their shoulder and stuff like that telling them, hey, you going to do what you're doing today? Or you gonna, you know, stop it? You know what I'm saying? So since they always got that thing there, it's because it's us. Your pastor not telling you to